just do that. Let me see if that works. Overwatch. Oh, that is the wrong button. That is also the wrong button. That works. Very nice. Good. So the way that this is going to go is pretty straightforward. This is a 30-minute session, which means you give me a gameplay code. I am going to go over that gameplay with you. And hopefully by the end of it, you'll have a pretty good idea of what to do in order to not suck so much. Does that sound like a plan?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Also, you don't need to serve me. I'm 23. I'm not that old. Okay. Did you already send me a code? No, you didn't. I need that code.
Oh, I thought I did. Didn't I put it in the forum?
Wait, let me check. Did you? Yes, you did. Let me see if that code still works. Import? Ah, wow, it actually works. That's pretty sick. Okay, very nice. So, can you see my game?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, can you also see me drawing?
Yeah, perfect.
Heck yeah, this is going to make explaining things much, much easier, trust me. But, for now, I'm going to lay the pen aside. You are who?
Maramara, the Genji.
Okay, this is a console lobby?
No, it's a PC.
Holy shit, okay. Usually when people have names that long, it's usually a console lobby, because console lobbies don't have naming limits. But apparently these are just really, really long PC names. So, what has led you here? What do you want from this session?
I just want to improve as much as I can.
What for?
I want to go pro eventually.
Why is that?
I want it to be my career path. I can't go to college because my family couldn't afford it.
That is fucking depressing. Okay, yes, America.
Yeah, it's a little bit. But yeah, it is what it is.
Okay, so, I mean, here's the problem, okay? So I don't like to be, I don't like to play dad, I guess. But needless to say, going pro, while it isn't unrealistic, obviously, I mean, there are a lot of pro players and it's not like they've been chosen by God or some shit. Obviously, you also need to be ready in case you don't have the kind of dedication and determination that it takes, you know, because it's one thing for you to, what did you say in the forum? Right now you play like, you're playing over 10 games a day, every day. Like, that's nice. But like, what if you need to increase that, you know?
Yeah.
Eventually comes a point where maybe you'll have to play the game so much that, you know, like the thing about going pro is that the closer you get to being pro, the more games you have to play, but also the more burnt out you're going to be. So those forces are kind of just amplifying each other. So we do quickly need to talk, before we go over the gameplay, we need to talk about what happens if you end up deciding halfway through, you know what, maybe this just isn't what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Well, it's not necessarily just going pro. It's more in the way of I want my livelihood to be in the gaming industry, whether it be as a content creator or just like a top 500 player that gets to play with, you know, those big names and maybe get a name for myself in that way and not necessarily going pro the whole way.
Okay.
Just at least getting up there and being.
But see, even that, like, it's not like becoming a streamer is any easier. Or like, let me rephrase: becoming a streamer is easy. But I mean, becoming a streamer that can actually pay the bills. How old are you right now?
I'm 21. I'm living on my own, and I got 2 other jobs. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're basically just hoping that this works out for you. I mean, what's your long-term plan if this doesn't work out?
I mean,
because
yeah. I mean, I'm working. I'm a server right now, and then I have another job I just got an interview as a social media intern for this other company.
Oh, and, okay. So you do have things going on the side. You're not just like, you know, filling shelves at fucking Walmart and trying to go pro.
Exactly.
Okay, good. As long as you have a plan B, it's good. Again, I don't mean to be like a Debbie Downer or anything.
No, definitely.
But trust me, motivations and aspirations change, especially during these young years of life. So it's important to be ready for, you know, you want to keep yourself flexible, you know, make sure that you have other options moving forward. But okay, then, what do you think is wrong with your gameplay?
I started watching it, and I shouldn't take fights that I should. Even though I win some of these fights, I still don't think I should take them at all.
Okay. Well, do you think you... Okay, so the way that you play Genji is there's basically two things that you do. Okay, so you can play Genji either as a follow-up character. This is so fucking thick, holy shit. As a follow-up. Mm-hmm. Or you can play him as kind of an assassin. Okay. Let's make this red because assassin is like super bad. Assassin. Okay, those are your two primary playstyles. So the only time you can really go for a follow-up based playstyle is if you actually have people you can follow up on. Okay, if we look at your team comp right here, your team comp is like not super duper divey. Like the only real character that goes in super hard is maybe going to be the diva. So yeah, basically the only thing that speaks for follow-up here would be the diva. That's like the only argument. Now, whether you can go for an assassin playstyle mostly depends on whether the characters on the enemy team are very easily 1v1able for you. Okay. So, which characters on the enemy team do you think are potentially 1v1able for you?
Hanzo, Widow, and possibly Ana.
Okay, so we have Hanzo, Widow, and not possibly Ana. Ana is arguably the easiest target to dive out of the three. Okay, there we go. Let me make this like dark again. Okay, so looking at this, which of the two playstyles in this given game should be your priority?
Assassin.
Exactly. You should go for this one. Okay. Now, on the other hand, let's say that your team comp was, Winston, Diva, and Doomfist. In that case, you should probably not go for more of an assassin playstyle, and you should play for more of a follow-up playstyle. Okay. So the definition of a follow-up playstyle is that you go for that. You basically don't do anything except farm your blade until you actually go in and you follow up on other people, whereas the assassin playstyle is a lot more, I guess, how do you call it? A lot more like proactive, I guess. There we go. Let me make this text a little brighter. That's better. Is a lot more proactive, and it's important that you differentiate between the two. Okay. Perfect. Good. There we go. So, since we want to go for an assassin playstyle, it is important that we try to find whatever target is isolated. So at the start, you are 1v1ing this Hanzo, which is perfectly fine, right? So this is an example of a good play for an assassin. And even though you kind of fuck up mechanically, you do end up getting the kill, which again is great. Afterwards, you go for the Ana, which again is also a good play. There's only one small thing about the Ana on why that might be a risk, okay? So why is fighting the Hanzo like a good play? There are no issues with that. But what issue is there with you going for the Ana afterwards?
Maybe I get slept and naded.
Okay. So why are you worried about getting slept and naded? What are you missing when you dive her?
I'm not sure.
You're missing your deflect because you already used it on the Hanzo.
All right.
Okay, so there's basically only two things that you need if you want to go in and dive someone. Okay, you need to make sure that you have all of your HP, and you need to make sure that you have all of your CDs. Okay, you don't want to dive in if you have 50 HP, you don't want to dive in without deflect. So in this case, it is not super duper smart for you to go in on the Ana. So what should we have done instead?
Wait 2 seconds and then go for either the Ana or the Widow?
Exactly. Very, very simple. And keep in mind, you already got the kill on the Hanzo, which means your teammates have like a numbers advantage. Okay. But right now, do you see how you're like kind of in a permanent state of just having no cooldowns? It's kind of awkward. Okay.
Yeah.
So right here, what you should do, I mean, I'm gonna be very real with you. Like the fact that you can just sit in their spawn and like kill them like this, and they're too garbage to kill you, is like kind of a problem because it can teach you bad habits. Like if you think about this objectively, do you think that shit, you just solo killing 3 people in spawn, that without any cooldowns would have worked in like a top 500 match?
Yeah.
Obviously not. Okay, so but I mean, but that said, like it is good that you're playing nice and proactive. You're not hesitating too much, so that's very good.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so nothing about your comp has changed. The only thing that really changed on the enemy team, actually no, that didn't even change, so it's fine. They still have 3 targets you can dive. So yeah, basically all you need to do during this fight, during this phase, I guess you could call it, is you just need to chill, and you need to make sure that when the what's it called? When like the enemy team actually gets out of position, that you are in a position to spot that.
Okay.
Okay, so ideally you don't want to hide behind walls, you don't want to go on some weird flank. The best thing you can do as Genji is basically just take the position you have right here, where you're on some form of high ground, and that gives you a good overview of the fight.
Mm-hmm.
See, so this is exactly what you don't want to do. You don't want to deal with those tanks. Those tanks aren't your problem. Okay?
So
you should have
stay on
just
that side.
exactly stay out there, because keep in mind, eventually the enemies are going to have to run out of spawn. Like, they can't chill back there forever, you know.
Yeah.
And once they do, like especially Widowmakers usually like to just stand in the back and chill. You know, like right here, you know, the Ana and the Hanzo. Just look at them, wait until one of them moves up. Like right now it's kind of dumb because their Hanzo's AFK. But you just need to wait, keep an eye on them, and then once someone is isolated, once you think you can just go in and 1v1 someone, that's when you need to go for it.
Yeah.
So right now you're playing pretty good mechanically, but you're just not... Like, it's like your gameplay doesn't really have a real structure. You're kind of just playing by feel.
Yeah. I noticed I do it a lot without meaning to.
Okay, so... See, now this is not very bueno. Why was this dash like hella pepega?
Yeah, because no one's low or anything. It just dashed into a lot of people for no reason.
Well, yeah. So as an assassin, we want to dive people who are isolated. Okay? Right here, if we go back a little... You saw that the Hanzo was up there. You're looking up at him. Okay? So if we look at this situation right here, okay, like, this isn't really rocket science. The smartest play for you would be to go for the Hanzo, and I do want to quickly explain why. So not only is he isolated, but another important thing for you is that you also need to keep in mind the enemy sidelines. Okay? Yeah. So let's say that you're like this shitty little blue dot. Oh my god, I'm getting fucking notifications. I'm sorry, it's so loud. So you're there, and if you look right there, like the enemy supports are over on the card, which means that they're like looking in this direction.
Right.
Okay, so that means that like this entire area behind them, if someone is isolated in that area behind the enemy supports, like this Hanzo, just go for him immediately. Okay, but if you go ahead and you dive the people on card, that's obviously kind of a waste of time because both supports are on there. So if you go for the Ana, Baptiste is going to heal. If you go for the Baptiste, Ana is going to heal, and vice versa. And it is not really going to lead to any results, unfortunately.
Yeah, definitely not. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Okay. But again, like the fact that you can like just think about this. You dash into 4 people, okay? And you still manage to get a kill on this Baptiste. Please, if this Baptiste had his immortality field, I swear to God, I'm going to scream. Oh my fucking god, he had his immortality field.
Yeah.
What elo is this?
Platinum.
Oh my fucking god, this is a joke. Okay. But you do see how, quite frankly, you should not have gotten this kill.
Definitely. Yeah,
see, and that's the problem, because, you know, very often people are like worried about sending in replay codes for their sessions, where like, and like, they're worried that it's not going to be the perfect game, you know? Like, what happens if I just don't make my most common mistake in that game? But that's the great thing about, like, reviewing these games, because even though, like, you get away with this, you know, you would look at this play and say, oh yeah, you know, I managed to kill the Baptiste, this was a good play. Like, it doesn't matter, because a play can work, and it can still be, like, a hella shit play.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so right here, you needed to... So this is kind of an example about the thing that we talked about earlier. Let me see if I still have it. Okay, so we need to make sure that we have our HP and our CDs when we go in. You just used your deflect, and you just used up all of your HP.
Yeah.
This really is not the time to stay in front of enemy LOS for very long.
Yeah.
So what does that mean for us?
I'm dead.
We need to get behind cover as quickly as possible. Okay, so the problem is right here, you should have realized, Jesus Christ, like I'm about to die. When you deflect, do you see how you're not going like in a straight line towards the nearest piece of cover? And just look at this. Okay, the optimal play for you right here, I don't know if I can fucking draw this, where are you? There we go. Would be to just go into a straight line down there.
Right.
Okay, but if we look at your gameplay, like right here you're in the straight line, but then for some fucking reason you walk back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just I don't know why I tried to make my movement unpredictable, but I guess that was not the right time at all.
When you're deflecting, why does it matter that your movement is unpredictable?
I thought it was like really close to running out. I guess I mistimed it a little bit.
No. You just need to get
not at
behind
all.
and then look the fucking worst part. Why would you, like, as you're about to get behind cover, you just jump?
Yeah.
How does this make any sense? You could have been like
does,
behind here, and you could have taken this health pack maybe, and then like.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is a little question mark, and by a little I mean a lot.
Big question mark. Yeah, it's a big question mark.
So yeah, so far this is all like kind of basic shit. You need to be aware of your HP. You need to be aware of your cooldowns. You need to make sure that you don't just randomly press jump buttons for no reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
You need to look at your team comp. You need to figure out what kind of playstyle to go for. I guess there's only one thing missing, and that is your ult usage. Let's see what we do with Blade. You do have a nano boost. I'm assuming this Ana is not a pre-made, so you don't want to rely on her too much.
Yeah, no.
Okay. We want to use our Blade proactively. The longer you hold onto it, the more time you give your teammates to feed. See? Because now your Pharah is already dead.
Yeah.
So why are you... Do you feel like you're really doing everything you can right now to get your ultimate out as soon as you can?
No.
Nope.
I could have gone to the back left.
Exactly. You want to start looking for... So you can go for a flank, but basically, yeah, you want to look for an opportunity to use your Blade. Right now, your teammates are dying and you haven't used your Blade. One very, very fundamental concept about Overwatch is that you need to play proactive. You always want to be the person who decides the tempo, who decides when the teamfight starts. You want to engage on the enemy team and not get engaged on. Because when you do that, you get... That is a bold ultimate.
Bad, yeah.
So the reason why that ultimate wasn't great is because it's just really high risk. Like, basically the only way that that ultimate wins you the team fight is if you get like a bunch of kills with it, because you used it after half your team died. If you're that confident in you being able to kill like 4 people with your ultimate, you can go for it. But yeah, that's the problem, because so far when it comes to the assassin playstyle, basically all of your kills weren't really assassinations. They were kind of just, you know, jumping in 1v3 and then the enemy team just kind of kills themselves. And you farm your ultimate while you do that. And then when you have your ultimate, this is how you, that's how you use it. Not super duper high value, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the assassin playstyle. The Widowmaker over there is looking really juicy. Let's see if you can find her. You're a little bit scared to peek. Don't peek. See, you're wasting so much time. You don't have this... You don't have that time. You walked right into that hook. That was actually fucking hilarious. I don't even think... Oh, he had wall hacks. Okay, he had Widowmaker ultimate. That's why he went for it. Okay, I was about to say that was a nutty hook, but okay.
I really thought D.Va was about to shift in, and I was ready to just fall out behind there.
Yeah, you should have just dashed out straight away. But yeah, the biggest issue is whether you die here or not isn't really what's important. The fact is that death could have happened way sooner if you didn't waste that much time in that room. Like, as a DPS, you really, really can't waste time. You always need to be proactive. Either you need to take shots, or you need to scout for information, or you need to capitalize on opportunities, but you can't just... like, chill. The only time you chill as Genji is if you are waiting for someone else to engage, if you are playing Genji as a follow-up character, but not as an assassin.
Okay, that makes sense.
See, like, your aim is good. I mean, kind of awkward that you went in when the Immortality Field was going. Immortality Field is a 30-second cooldown.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
It was that long. Okay.
Okay, yeah, let me go right here. Look at his cooldown. 2, 1... 25 seconds. Okay, never mind. Yeah. Look at me. Fucking...
Still very long.
Yeah, pretty long. Fucking, I'm dumb. Mercy Res was 30 seconds. Yeah, Baptiste is 25. But yeah, it's fucking long, which means that once he uses it, like, what you need to do as Genji right here is you need to, like, exclaim in excitation. Why does Siri think I'm talking to her? Holy shit. No, my god, shut the fuck up, Siri. Okay, this is like really awkward. What is it doing? Okay. It thought I wanted to play some music, but I really don't. But yeah, when you see an important cooldown like that used, you need to think to yourself, oh wow, like that's a big fuck up. Like that Baptiste using his immortality field is really good for you, because all you need to do is just chill up here on high ground, and you shoot that immortality field, and then once it's down, you have free reign on the supports. But instead of standing here, shooting the immortality field again, you're like impatient. You just go in straight away, and you waste all of your cooldowns on an immortality field at Hanzo, and then you can't close with the kill, and you don't get your resets.
Yeah. Gotta wait for the CDs. Be more patient.
Yeah, I mean, again, on a positive note, this is like all super, super duper fixable.
Yeah.
Okay. It's also good that the enemy team comp doesn't change. Like, this is a really, really good team comp to play. Don't go AFK. To play kind of Assassiny against.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not doing anything right now.
Okay, see, like the fact, like, kills like that, Jesus Christ. Like, you didn't even have to do anything to kill that Widowmaker. But this is kind of a very good example of what I talked about earlier, where, like, you would think, oh, you know, she's playing right next to her support, so she's going to be fine. But as long as an enemy is alone in, like, this box behind an enemy support, they are very vulnerable. Because so many people just don't look behind them, or, like, don't fucking listen to game sound.
Yeah.
So yeah, that Baptiste could have easily saved her if he had headphones.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is fine. You dying there doesn't matter. This team fight is kind of over anyways. Oh wait, never mind. You guys lost that team fight? What?
I guess we did.
Huh. Okay, I mean, it doesn't matter. Your death wasn't really avoidable and you got 2 kills for it. Not much more you can get. Oh, wait, you died again? Jesus Christ. You're like... Okay. You want to make sure that you... Like, even if you're not playing follow-up Genji, you still want to make sure that your tanks leave spawn before you, just so the enemy team has someone to shoot that isn't you.
Yeah. Gotta wait for the tanks.
Okay. See, you're wasting so much time with these tanks. Why are you wasting all this time with those tanks? Like, if there's, like, an Ana standing on the cart, you go for the Ana on cart. If you see the Widowmaker all the way in the back, you need to figure out a way to get to that Widowmaker.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, well, this is the final part of the session, where you can ask any questions you would like to ask.
I guess just a few notes on how I would do a follow-up Genji. Like,
yes.
What characters I would synergize well with.
So basically anyone who has mobility and who wants to go in proactively. Okay? So for example, Tracer, Doomfist, Echo, Hammond, Winston, Diva, Tracer, Sombra, you know, characters that are dive characters, basically, with a lot of mobility. If you have a lot of those, then you can wait for them to go in. They draw all of the attention towards themselves, and then you can just follow up, and you don't have a lot of pressure on you. But the problem is, if you don't have any dive characters, or if you only have one dive character, it's not really worth it unless you're pre-made with that dive character. Because, for example, in this game, if you were trying to go for a follow-up based playstyle, what happens if that Diva just never dives in? You know, you're just going to be sitting around. But if you're playing with like a Diva, a Winston, and a Doomfist, then
that's different.
Eventually one of them is going to dive in. So you're always going to have at least one person who goes in and you can follow up on. Okay?
Yeah, sounds good.
Perfect. Okay. So to quickly summarize, we need to make sure that we recognize what playstyle we need to go for. We need to make sure that we keep track of our HP and our cooldowns before we go in.
Okay.
We need to recognize when people are out of their healer's line of sight. And we need to make sure that we check the kill feed before we ult.
Yeah.
Do all of those things make sense to you?
They do.
Very good. Well, then I am done here. If you have any more questions, you can always send them to me on Discord, and I'll be more than happy to help. And I guess I wish you the best of luck, and hopefully the next time we talk, it's going to be about a non-platinum game.
Yeah, I hope so.
Okay, have a good one. Take care. See ya.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.